All right, moving on to relationship. Jane Vanessa Willie is a certified relationship coach with 9 years of experience in counseling and coaching. She is the founder of Janessa Foundation, an NGO, and an on-air personality, Mandela Washington Fellowship. And today she'll be talking about the effects of poor communication in a relationship. Hello, Janie. How are you doing today?
Hi. I'm doing very well.
It's so good of you to join us.
Can you hear me?
So let's get right into it. First of all, how do you identify that there is a lack of communication in your relationship?
When you're in a relationship with someone who feels they don't understand you, they don't get you, your conversations always end in a fight and always very inconclusive, you know that there is really a communication lapse. Or when you say something and or whenever you are having a communication and it feels like it's a personal act, then you would say that you're having communication lapse in your relationship.
Okay. Now, how do you fix it? Because most of the time, I mean, I'm going to use myself as an example. There are times where I feel like my partner isn't listening to me. And then he begins to focus more on my approach to the issue. But I want him to pay attention to the issue.
What are you saying?
So how do we meet each other halfway in that regard?
Okay, so communication, generally speaking, it's a bit more technical than we understand, and I don't think I'll be able to do enough, with the next few minutes, but I'll try.
Yeah, please try.
The first thing you want to understand is that we are no longer in relationship, or relations are no longer functioning like role relationships. They are now soul relationships. What that pretty much means is that we are now in a relationship with people who are more aware. So you have men who are more aware, they want to be all that they want to be, and women who are more also aware. So the women are tapping more into their male side, and the men are also tapping into their feminine side. When it comes to communication, the problem is that we have, because of this awareness, which is not bad in itself, is knowing when to not suppress your femininity when you're communicating with a man. So the way you communicate with your girlfriend is completely different from the way you with a man.
So you have to completely put away your ego and arrogance.
From the masculine point, yes, you're coming from that masculine point, or you are complaining about him. He doesn't hear you. Because when you begin to complain about him, his stress level goes, the front of his brain is reduced. And the front of the brain is responsible for empathy, to feel compassion and all of that.
Towards the issue.
So nothing is happening there. So he can't. So the issue here is, like you said, so when you're communicating with a man, come from your feminine side. Let him hear your emotion. Be free to share.
So in other words, what you're saying is be vulnerable.
And for the man...
Did you hear me, Janie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. And I'm asking, so what you're saying is we should be vulnerable.
Yes, and for the man, so that we give this a balance. So it's not about just women.
Okay.
The man, when a woman talking to you, when you're talking to a man and you're coming from that emotional place, he is in a more disposed place to listen. But where they mess it up is that they put on their Mr. Fix-It hat and want to try to fix the situation. When the woman's talking, what she's looking for is empathy, compassion. Listen, don't try to fix it. Don't try to, my boss is not doing well, or I'm upset with what happened at work. And the man just goes, okay, just do this and do this and do that now. At that moment, the woman is pissed and the guy is wondering, what have I done? I'm trying to help here. At that point, don't try to help. When she's communicating and when she's being vulnerable, what she wants from you is to listen. So if you are so hung up on trying to fix the problem, it would be nice to ask her, do you want me to, is there anything that I can do to make you feel better? She will tell you, no problem, just give a hug, or I don't want to talk anymore. She has vented on
Okay.
you and she wants to move on. And women are very quick to do that. We can move from, being able to let out and move to the other side of happy. That's a personality that, quite a lot of men are not able to understand.
Okay.
But just be there and listen.
All right.
Yes.
But quickly, finally, what if you're not a good listener? Because so many of us are not good listeners. How do you, solve
Listening
that?
is a skill.
Sorry?
Listening is a skill. I said listening is a skill.
Is a skill.
More
Okay.
often than not, yes. And you're not just listening to defend. You should be listening to understand. There are
Listening
two
to
different kinds of
understand.
listening.
All right. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Janie.
Because
Thank you so
thank you so
much,
much for having me.
Janie. I'm sure that everyone watching right now has been able to get learn one or two things from what you have said. So you're saying that if you find yourself in an argument with your spouse, with your partner, be vulnerable, practice empathy, be emotional, let your heart out. And thank you so much, Janie. And that's it on a relationship discussion for today. There's still so much more. We have Munachi joining us next, people. Please stay with us.